Hey, Wakia here, Thunder, aka Thunder, in Lakota. Really? Really, people? Some accounts got hacked today, Twitter and YouTube, and by terrorists, by Islamists. Uh, some of it was military, really? Really? You believe that? I got a bridge in Brooklyn, I got the Eiffel Tower, See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This is exactly the kind of stuff I'm talking about when I say they're setting up a scenario, okay? Will the internet go down? Will the internet be next? Will Google be next? Will there be no communication? All kinds of channels are falling off YouTube, and it's a done deal, people. And when I say I know certain things, I know them, okay? I predicted them. I see it coming. I saw it coming. I have inside intel. I got people that are really, really good friends that give me info on what's going on inside the military and all kinds of special forces and the feds. Everything's kind of gearing up right now towards a big push to something. I don't know what it is. Probably self-destruction. Shit, even in San Diego, the feds are like roping off, having drills, federal tactical drills in the street, you know, roping off certain blocks and keeping people out and having these guys, black hooded guys. It's out of control, people. They have these little tactical drills that nobody really knows about unless you're there on the scene, or somebody that knows about it tells you, or that somebody that sees it tells you. And they're gearing up for all kinds of shit. They're gearing up for more troops going into Africa, because there's going to be a call up, I think, pretty soon, of some of these active reservists. Now, I'm not going to say bet money on this, but I'm just going to say take it for what it's worth. It's intel, and sometimes intel can be, screwed up or lag behind, but my sources are pretty good, okay? And when I hear things like go out the front door and look at the newspaper, and I hear things like, oh, Twitter got hacked, or the top command, I forget what it is, joint command, not joint command, it escapes me right now. But anyway, military portion of Twitter, and YouTube, the military portion. Are you going to tell me that these guys are such friggin' bozos that they don't have firewalls and, the military? Why would the military care about Twitter anyway, or YouTube? That's not what they use. They use discrete channels. They don't need Twitter. So why would, see, this doesn't make sense, okay? If you put two and two together, look at the big picture, they don't need Twitter to communicate, so why make a big deal out of it even if it did get hacked? So what? And then they put up, it's cartoonish, really. It's straight out of Hollywood. It's beyond false flag. It's Looney Tunes, if you ask me. It's so transparent, it's laughable. But most people that see the newspaper go, oh, they hacked Twitter, they hacked YouTube, or they're just setting us up, people. Well, if they can hack into military things on YouTube and Twitter and all this, well, your account could go down tomorrow. Anything could go to anything could happen. Wow, they're really getting, dude, they're getting out there with the hacking thing, aren't they? Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? And that's what the normal mentality of people is. They see this shit and they go, oh my God, you know, they're really attacking us. The hacksters are at it again. The bad guys, the Islamists, whatever you want to call them. The Muslims, let's just group them all into one. This is really, it's laughable. Now, what isn't laughable is most people fall for this shit and they're setting something up. It's obvious. You know, the more you see about hacking attacks, and we've been seeing a bunch. I mean, yes, you know, should we put up a blackboard and I'll draw a list of all the recent things that have been happening with the internet, and starting from Snowden and the North Koreans, and oh my God, and then the thing in Hollywood and the movie, and now this and this, and then right after the Paris thing, we got, boy, this is starting out to be a great year, isn't it? Lie upon lie upon lie, fabrication upon fabrication. People, it's funny. Got to look at it like it's funny, man. I mean, you got to look at it like, geez, man, are these people really... The part that's really kind of funny and tragic at the same time is that people buy this shit. And I'm here to tell you, don't. I mean, what you should buy into is when you see this kind of thing, you know something's up. You know something's up. They're going to pull something. They're setting up a scenario. It's like a pre-staging of, you know, pre-staging an event. Let's see. First, we'll have a couple of accounts go down on Twitter and YouTube, and we'll say it's military, and we'll say they're Islamists. I mean, if I was making this stuff up, I mean, that's what it... Can you make this stuff up? Yes. Meanwhile, back at the farm, you got all the regular Rolodex type media bullshit coming out still about Putin and Russia and this and that. And it's like, man, I really don't know what's going on with that whole scene sometimes. I mean, how long can they... I guess I know what's going on, but I'm wondering how long that they can crank out the bullshit. Keep that crank. You know, they have this handy dandy little crank that they got, okay? And they crank out money, and they crank out bullshit, and they crank out fear, and they crank out media hype, and they crank out all kinds of situations, and the thing in Paris that was phony, and all of this stuff to keep you interested, I don't know, or to keep you in fear, or to keep you... I got news for you. They're making moves behind the scenes. Like I said, I have inside info. You just got to know if, you know, you just got to have a few buddies in the right place, that's all, to get this information. Ones that are not, ones that know what's going on and are not with the agenda. And you can get all kinds of information, okay? Sources, they call it, I guess. And I'll tell you what, if people aren't gearing up right now, if you're not gearing up for what's coming down the road here, you're going to be in a world of shit. So you had better at least just kind of think about it. Look at the headlines and look at it, look at the big picture and look at it like it's comical. I mean, okay, so some events like people supposedly get killed, and I guess people get killed. Well, why not? They have no problem with collateral damage. It's nothing to them. How much collateral damage do you think is done in any war? Look at the, you know, the firestorm at Dresden in World War II. Collateral damage, millions of people. Look at Leningrad. Look at any incident that revolves around terrorism or war, there's always collateral damage. And anything that happens here to people, they'll just consider collateral damage. I don't care if it's, the elderly or the vets or the normal man on the street or bailing into banks or doing this or doing that. It's all just going to be like collateral damage. That's their name for it. I hope you can't hear this jazz. I'm listening to jazz in the background while I'm talking. I hope it's not bleeding in here. But it's laughable, people. It's laughable. And I know they're going to send troops. They're gearing up to send troops. Now, Africa is a place, this is what I heard, they're going to start gearing up more towards there. And lots of oil, lots of resources, lots of minerals, all kinds of stuff in Africa that they can, if they take over land there, if they send troops in, well, let's say they cause trouble and then they send troops in or whatever, blah, 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 blah. They're going in for resources, okay? Maybe they got to go in for resources because there's things going on that we don't know about. And I heard oil might go to 42. You believe that? Can you believe the radical changes that we're going through right now? Took years and years and years to climb up to where they could charge you $4 or $5 a gallon for when you fill up at the pump, and now it's down to like $1. No, not $1, but maybe $1.99 in some places. Shit, I don't know, maybe $1.50. I'm on the coast, so I don't see what's going on Midwest, but look at the big picture here, people. You got to look at the big picture. You got to look at the whole friggin' thing, not just one thing, not just the oil thing, not just the hacking thing. I mean, and the airline thing. Put them all together. What do you got? You got a soup, a stew, a shitstorm stew. I'm laughing, but people should be crying because it's getting near. Some kind of move is getting near here. Looks like to me, doesn't it to you? As an old tracker, I just look at sign, Sign is like anything that you see that gives you a clue as to where the tracks are going. And it looks like to me that people better start thinking about banding together. I've said this a long time ago. You should have been thinking about it a long time ago. Let's jump to the troll thing that I was on yesterday. I've noticed some comments about that. Sure, go ahead, joust with them, do whatever you want. Some people say, well, yeah, I like to do this and I like to do that. Okay, have fun. Don't do it on my channel, though. Don't do it on my statements. Don't do it on anything that has to do with thunder. Don't do it on YouTube. If I post something on Google that's just general for all the circles, yeah, I guess, but I see that shit. It comes to me and I see people arguing and I go, what's the point here? Watch the video again. What's the point? Either, when you duel with these people, you're either trying to win an argument, number one, or you're just fucking with them like they are with you. Why do you want to screw with somebody? Even if they are bad, give them a hard time? Is that your little way to, to create a war with the opposite side? You really want to get down? Do something important. Not just eliminating the lower chain, on the lower end of the food chain, dumb shit trolls. You better be forming up little groups to protect yourself and band together, and you should be doing some serious stuff. Don't waste your time on the internet battling with trolls, okay? It's not worth it. Plus, you know, every time you talk to them or anytime you battle with them or duel with them, they learn more about you. See, that's not my computer going off. I'm using light from my other computer to light this deal. You get my drift here? It's okay. It changes colors too. Wow, man. Is my aura changing color, dude? Don't battle with these trolls. Keep your head up, straight up, looking straight forward. Don't let this duality, all the shit in the duality. I find it's ramping up. It seems to be, I mean, you don't think so because there's so many events, but when you get a bunch of stuff in a row, people, they got short memories. It's like, you know, first there's the airplane thing, and then there's the Paris thing, and then there's the hack with, you know, the hacking into that movie with North Korea, and it's like, do people even remember a week ago? North Korea, what's that? They hacked into Korea, North Korea hacked into something? Oh, yeah, I think I remember something about that. Hello? They are flashing so many things on the scene right now, and it's overwhelm. Let's put the people into overwhelm. We'll put the North Korea thing, and then we'll put this thing, and then we'll put that thing, and then we'll put another thing, and then we'll put another thing after that. And by the time they get to the fifth thing or sixth thing, the first thing is already firmly embedded in your head. You forgot about it, but they already planted it there. And there's a part of your brain that's going, red alert, in there that you don't even know about, that is remembering what your conscious mind can't remember, but your subconscious can. Red alert, red alert. Why don't they just put out a general warning, you know, of, you know, like they do in construction zones. Maybe they could do that. Maybe they could put entering, you know, they could put signs up everywhere, and then entering danger, entering construction zone, constructing the new world order. Wear a hard hat. Wear some hip boots so you can wade through the shit. Make sure that you don't breathe too easy, because if you do that, then we're going to have to put up another event so that you stress. Another thing I noticed too is, like, I was out and about today, and like there's construction going on everywhere in this city. And I don't know about other cities, but the infrastructure here is bad, but they're tearing shit down all over the place and building new shit, and like, where are they getting this money? There's that crank again. They're cranking it out somehow. They're cranking out that money. And if it's a mill, it's a money mill. And then, you know, if they need grist for it, if they need some grist, you know, something to oil the wheels, the mechanism, they'll just take people and put them in this big funnel, and you'll get all ground up, and yeah, we'll take your bank account, we'll take your soul. And if it's any question I really have to ask anybody about all this stuff is, where's the compassion? Why aren't people coming from a heart space? Is that chakra just completely closed down? Do they have some machine that they put out a high frequency vibe on, or sound that closes your heart chakra, that doesn't allow that part of your brain, which I told you yesterday or the day before, you have part of your brains in your heart. You got to open up your heart, people. Got to open it up, okay, and have compassion for your fellow man. Now, this message is for people that are doing the bad shit. opening up your heart chakra. And even, some of you out there, think with your heart. If you think with your heart, you feel things that other people don't feel. Okay. You tune into the loving energy of the cosmos, the primordial chi. And you feel things that other people don't feel. And you see things that other people don't see. And your consciousness raises to another level. And it's not just a deductive consciousness where I deduce. No, it's a feeling thing. Okay? It's a feeling thing where you feel, you feel different things going on here. I'm playing with bells and whistles here. You feel certain things going on, you just don't deduce things. You feel things coming. It's like when when you're out tracking and you're in the mountains or something and you can just smell when there's some kind of storm coming in. You can just kind of feel it in your bones. I mean, the viscous air changes around you and you're like, wow, something's coming here. So that's what you got to do. You got to be tuned in on that level. You got to be tuned in on an energy level. You got to be tuned in on and not just look at all this stuff they're throwing out there against the wall, like they're throwing mud, like they're throwing shit against the wall, see what'll stick. That's what they're doing. So you don't you don't go up and inspect each little thing and go, oh man, you look at it in general as like they're throwing shit again, they're throwing mud against the wall again, and that's all. And that mud is all BS. It's all made up. And it's made up for a reason, and that reason will be coming down the road here any day, like a freight train, going down a 3% grade. You know what happens when a freight train goes down a 3% grade and you lose the brakes? That happened once in Cajon Pass in California, and the train took out a whole community. Just went off the rails, and all the cars and everything like a snake just wiped out a whole friggin' community at the bottom of the hill. I'm talking about houses, kids, everything. And that's what this is like. This is like a hell-bent freight train coming down the hill. And thunder's out here going, see that little light up there on the hill coming down real fast? That's a freight train. It's out of control. It's called the powers to be, the elite, the money people, the people in control, the people that think they're in control. It's laughable and cryable. Take it for what it's worth. I don't know if I'm going to make this video very long. I just thought I'd jump on here real quick because I know you all miss me so much. Where's Nat? Anyway, I haven't seen her in a while. I think she's getting a new computer. Either that or she just got smart and went, I ain't going on there anymore. Anyway. You guys appear and disappear at will, I know that. You need a break. We're liable to get a real big break here pretty soon on the internet thing. I mean, it's all mass confusion now. It's just mass confusion. Nothing makes any sense. None of the political things with Russia, nothing makes sense. You can't make sense out of it. So you don't try. You don't try to make, you just look at it for what it is, and you know what it is. It's a load of BS, and it's for a reason. It's up to you to figure out what that reason might be. For me, it's not too much of a stretch for me to figure that out, figure out what the reason is. It's definitely going to have to do with a culling of the population or reestablishment of a new order or the falling of civilization. Take your pick. These people are so deep into their games that they run games on each other. See, they're continually running games. Like if you were in the Cold War and you were a spy and you would like go over to the other side and then switch again, go over to the other side, your normal side, and then go back to the other side and sell your soul to the devil and make up false documents to make one country look weaker than another, and so that they could do arms deals. And I mean, you wouldn't believe what went on in the Cold War. You know, if one country knew another country's weak, they'd make it look like that country was strong so that they could sell other countries arms to protect themselves from that country that was supposedly strong but was actually weak. That's what they do. Arms deals, military, incursions are all about arms deals and military industrial complex and yada, yada, yada. You gotta just be alert, see things for what they are, don't get upset, don't get stressed out, compartmentalize, do whatever you gotta do. Detach, not give a shit, but always be aware of your own circumstances and where everything's putting you in regards to the world situation and what they're up to. Be a warrior, man. Gotta be a warrior. Seriously. And you gotta know, like I said yesterday, you gotta know a lot of stuff if you expect to be one of the people that somehow gets through all these changes and bullshit that's coming down. You got to know a lot of things. You got to insulate yourself from a lot of other things. You got to act like certain things don't exist because they don't, really. Just chill out. Just thunder talking here, giving you a little info, a little intel. Maybe I should rename this. No, better not do that. But any good little army or any good little band like Apache warriors or any band of warriors, fighters, kindred souls that bond together in face of adversity you always got to have your intel, you always got to have your leadership, you always got to have. Don't think you can do it all alone, don't try to do it alone. Band together with people, what's up? What's the big deal? Find somebody you like, band up with them. Get both energies in there, the yin and the yang energy, have some females in the group. Make sure they're warriors. And if they're not, train them. But I mean, who's going to do the cooking? Just kidding. Man, I'll get some flack for that. Women are better cooks sometimes, maybe. Well, no, not always. Boy, that brings back some memories. One of my wives couldn't even boil water. Anyway. Good thing my mom was there to teach her all the recipes and all that stuff. No, but it's nice to have like it's nice to have that matriarchal feel like in the tribal. The tribes were all matriarchal, women ran everything. Camp, built the teepees, set up camp, made the clothes for the men, butchered the food, the kills that the Braves would bring in. Braves were out there fighting on the front lines and keeping the survival mode going with the food and that type of thing. Doing a little intertribal politicking, keep things above board and straight ahead. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm just flapping my lips, really. Thunder's at it again. I'm out of here. Adios. Have a good one. Take care. Bye, con Dios. Until next time.